Welcome to the Empowered Spirit Show. This is your host, Terry Ann Hyman. I'll explore the connection to the human spirit in a way that helps to navigate your life, including crisis. I am passionate about helping you to open up to your intuition and the metaphysical world of spirit to find your confidence in your own inner guidance. Take a pause, be inspired, learn ways to show up focused, centered, and more dynamic in your everyday life.
Welcome back to the Empowered Spirit Show. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so glad you are here. This week, we open under the energy of the new moon in Gemini. And I love that this new moon arrives as we prepare for the new season of summer. The new moon is always a time of new beginnings. It's the dark moon, the fertile void, the place where we plant intentions before they are fully visible. And Gemini brings in the energy of the mind. It's an air sign. So we have the breath, the voice, the nervous systems, the stories we tell, the way we communicate with ourselves and the world around us, ruled by Mercury. And so before we step fully into the summer solstice, the new moon in Gemini asks us to notice our thoughts. What stories are we carrying into the next season? Who's doing the talking and who's doing the listening? I love that idea, right? Are you listening to all those stories that you tell yourself? What old conversation is ready to end? And what new conversations are you ready to begin in this new season, this new room of your life? So last week we had the energy from all that full moon starting to release out, helping us to see what we do need to let go of. And so with this Gemini energy, we're able to clear the mind, open the breath, and choose the words, preparing that inner landscape for what wants to grow. And as we move towards the summer solstice, we're standing at another threshold, a portal of energy. The summer solstice is the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere, and it happens when the Earth's tilt towards the sun is at its maximum, and the sun appears to travel its longest, highest path through the sky. The word solstice carries the feeling of the sun standing still, a pause, and the great turning of the year. I love that image, the sun pausing. The light reaches its fullness. Nature's not rushing into the next thing. Nature is not apologizing for being too bright. Nature's not shrinking back from her own abundance. The flowers are blooming, the trees leaf out, the water's warm, the insects sing, and life becomes visible. Gemini prepares the mind and the breath, right? The twins, right? As the summer solstice prepares the body and the spirit. So today I want to talk also about my favorite thing, the wild woman of summer and the teachings of the medicine wheel. Yes, I love summer, I guess because I am a summer baby, but I love this time of year. It gives us so much to look at, especially that pausing energy and the growth that will come forward. So I love the medicine wheel. I am sad to say I did leave mine behind. I returned it back to the earth, and I'm sure I will build another one soon. I've actually been working on my daughter's garden with my crystals and rocks, so we all can do that. So I've learned a lot of this medicine wheel from being actually on the earth, from working with my indigenous teachers, and I do carry a Native American energy through my mother's lineage. So I bring this forward with all due respect as we honor the season, the wisdom of the South, while weaving in the spiritual practices that I offer here on the show. So as I teach, and there are many different teachings, when we work in the medicine wheel, we walk the directions. We notice which each direction holds for us. So now we're getting ready to move from the east, which is what spring has been about, to the south as I see it. Now I know some people teach differently, but as I see it, it is in the direction of the south, and it's the element of water. And so we're looking at that place that has that energy of patience and growth. It's the community, it's for fun. The seeds are no longer hiding. They're starting to open up and sprout forward. They are reaching for the sky, and they're asking for water and sunlight and space and trust. So what are you asking for? The same thing? What are you growing? Asking for trust as you do grow it, asking for breath, asking for believing in what it is you're growing in your new room. What dream has taken root? Even if it's still tender. And are you willing to allow yourself to grow. So we can look at the solstice as that sacred pause, halfway through the year, the beginning of the season. It's the moment when the light reaches its peaks, the days stretch long, and the night is at its shortest. And spiritually, we can understand this as that sacred pause. Not a pause because nothing is happening, a pause because so much is happening. Let's take a moment and think about, metaphorically, think about your garden. In spring, we plant the seeds. We prepare it, we imagine, we clear the soil, we put the seeds into the dark. We may not see as much, but beneath the surface, life is moving. Then summer arrives and the growth becomes visible. So recently I was in a shamanic class. There's one here that meets every week. How awesome is that? We get to go on journeys every week. And Brian, the teacher, he's so great leading us. And each of us have our own experiences, but one of the ones I had recently was so beautiful because, as you know, I do like to channel the Lemurians. I work with the crystals, and we were going on a journey. We went to below the earth, right? We went to that energy that is underneath the earth, upper, middle, lower, as they teach in shamanic teachings. And so I was down there in that lower part and searching around and following through the meditation and going, and then all of a sudden I arrived under the earth with crystals. And in it was the message, like, this is where the Lemurians buried those crystals, underneath. And so most of us don't see this. Yes, we can go digging for crystals, but that knowledge, and as I continue to work with this, is what's rising forward, helping to heal the earth, which is, I feel like, part of my purpose, part of what they're wanting me to do, is sending that out because everybody's touching on the earth, right? Gravity, right? So we bring that forward in that beautiful image underneath the earth where all that wisdom, that's what came forward for me too, all that wisdom there, the root of it all. And so that's what we want to look at within ourselves. When we go to plant those seeds, not only do we put them in the earth, but we're putting the root of who we are, the root of our intentions into the earth. And then, as Summer teaches us, we trust. If we don't attend to it, we don't put our intention into it, what happens? Nothing. But the more we can come back into that energy and put our intention into it and allow for the fun of summer to help us with that growth, that's where we see that progress. That's where we see our soul urging to come forward and guide us, if we allow, to that part of us that has entered the new room, the new season, the new part of who we are. And so summer also teaches us patience. Patience to sit back, to go have fun, and to allow your intentions to come forward, right? It may sound strange because most of us think, oh, summer, we're outside, the days are long, we can get really active, the season's moving forward, but beneath all that activity, summer carries a deeper teaching. Growth has its own rhythm. You cannot pull the flower open. You cannot force the fruit to ripen before it's time. You cannot demand the dream to become fully formed before it has had enough nourishment. So the solstice asks us to pause inside the light and notice what is already growing. And this is a very different energy from survival. Survival is always about scanning for danger. It's about bracing for what might go wrong. But the solstice says, look around. Feel the warmth. Notice the abundance. Look at all the green. Look at all the flowers. Even out here in California, where it may not be as green, flowers are beautifully blooming where you wouldn't even expect it. So there is that energy of reaching and opening up even when we don't see it. We can receive it. We can trust it. Do you? Do you allow the light to touch the places that you have been working so hard with? Can you let yourself enjoy life even before everything is complete? I know, as someone that works for himself, sometimes that's hard. Let's get it done. But that is one of the teachings of summer. Not everything has to be finished before you're allowed to feel joy, right? Not everything has to be perfect before you're allowed to celebrate. Not every dream has to be fully manifested before you can honor the growth. Just that first step is worth honoring. Summer says, sit back for a moment, enjoy the life that is here. Let yourself be nourished by what is already blooming. You are in a new room and shape-shifting your life through all of this growth coming in. In this direction of the south, that energy brings in community, right? It reminds us we don't have to isolate ourselves. Seeds grow in relationship to soil and water and sun and air, pollinators, roots, and the unseen intelligence of the earth. And the same way, our dreams grow in relationship. This direction invites community. It invites belonging. It invites the heart. So often, when we're moving through a spiritual awakening or a life transition, we think we have to do everything by ourselves. We think being strong means not needing anyone. But the South teaches something different. The South says, bring in your people, your guide, your teachers, someone like me that can help mentor you through this growth process and guide you to understanding your purpose in this lifetime. And if you do find yourself needing some guidance, needing some teachings, schedule a spiritual upgrade breakthrough call with me, and let's talk about your path and where you are and what is that purpose your soul is calling for you to do. So this time of year is the time to bring in those that can support your process. Bring in the ones who can see your light when you forget it. Bring in the ones who can remind you of what you're growing. And not forget the unseen support, your guide, your angels, your ancestors of love and light, helping spirits, the Lumerians, the earth, the waters, the trees, the fire, the sun, and the breath moving through your body. And so the South asks us, can you let support in? Can you let the heart soften? Can you feel the web of belonging? In the medicine wheel, we are reminded that life moves in cycles and that balance matters. Sacred teachings live in relationship. And so in this relationship with the South, with Mother Earth, we're invited to notice the growth that comes from nurturing. So what nurturing do you need? What part of you is still young and tender and still wondering, who am I? Where do I come from? Where do I belong? What part of me needs encouragement instead of perfection? That's a big one for many of us. And this is where the heart comes in. The South in this direction is also with the element of the water. Water is our flow of emotions. It is that heart energy. It's about opening up to this growth, and the courage to belong to yourself is about the willingness to feel your life from the inside out. When we look at the totem animals for this direction, it's the animals of prey, and I always like to call in lion. Lion opens us up to that courage, to roar, to let that wild woman of summer come forward and open up deep within the heart. And I'm not talking about being reckless and destructive with this wild woman energy. I'm talking about the part of you that remembers your instinct, the part of you that does want to listen to the body, that does want to shake it free, that does want to open up to a deeper part that brings those passions and desires along with the heat of summer and that flow of water into your life and into your path. She is alive. She's sensual, intuitive, embodied, and creative, and fierce in how she chooses to love. She is the divine feminine in motion, and this is part of that energy that comes forward in this direction and the energy of summer. She is the one that says yes to life. She remembers how to laugh from the belly, cry from the depths of her soul, and dance under the sun. She stands in the water, gold or not, speaks the truth, and protects what is sacred. She is also patient. True wildness is deeply attuned. The wild knows when to bloom, when to rest, when to wait, and when to move. The wild woman of summer teaches us to trust the body's timing. Manifestation is not only mental, it is energetic, emotional, embodied, and rooted in the creative waters within us. Summer activates the power in manifestation, but this kind of power, it's not about forcing, it's about aligning. It asks, what do I desire from the truth of my soul? Where am I ready to grow? What support do I need? What emotions must move so that my energy can flow again? I love the summer. I get so passionate with all the energy coming in. So I ask you, what have you been holding back? What is your passion? Your love, your voice, your creative fire that inspires you to live your purpose. This wild woman of summer, she wears red for life force, passion, courage. That is the color of this direction. She brings that forward with the sunset, the clay, the body, and the pulse. And she is not afraid of richness. The richness of fruit, green leaves, warm evenings, connection, and a dream, and she is allowed to take up space. I know many of my clients come in and they've minimalized their dreams, or they feel they can't stand up to who they are, or they're a little different and feel not like everybody else, so they tend to temper that down. No, the wild woman of summer asks you, invites you to bring that sensitivity with boundaries forward, but also your creativity, your uniqueness. So what if you're different than the world? We all are. And right now, creative energy is so needed. Call in your star people to help you bring that forward. Because the wild woman of summer says, your life force is not too much. Remember, that sun doesn't complain about the brightness of the light. So don't you either. Your joy is not too much. Your desire is not too much. Your tuition is not too much. Your growth is not too much. You are not too much. The question is not whether you're too much. It's whether you are willing to become rooted enough to hold the fullness of your own energy. That's the work. Not to shrink, but to root. Not to apologize, but to align. Not to perform wildness and recklessness, but to remember your own nature. And we allow that element of water to flow through us to keep it moving, to cleanse and nourish and soften as you open your heart. Water does teach us emotion, how to keep it flowing. Water teaches that when it's stagnant, we need movement. And so this season is about cleansing the body, the energy field, jump in a lake, swim, put your feet in the stream, take a salt bath, stand in the shower, do a little tapping. Imagine the old energy washing away. Drink more water and bless it with energy before it enters your body. And let water be a teacher. Water can teach us to feel because it is flowing. It carries that vibration. So often we want to stuff the emotions down, and then we reach for outside sources to help us move through it. We stay busy, we rationalize, we drink, we overeat. But if we can allow that water to flow, we can shapeshift out of that and open up to breath and movement and witness that light within us come alive. We want to feel the emotions, even if they're uncomfortable, but the more you feel them, as quickly as you feel the disrest or the distrust or the dis-ease, they will move. And then that's how you process them, rather than stuffing them in your energy field or getting anxious or irritated or resenting or even a numbness from not processing your energy. So water says, let it move. Let our emotions flow. Let the tears come. Let the laughter come in. Let the grief soften. Let the anger tell you when a boundary is needed. Let the longing show you where your desire is still alive. And let the tenderness remind you your heart has not closed. This is emotional alchemy. This is shape-shifting. This is allowing yourself to be in that new room and show up in a new way. The wild woman does not shame emotion. She listens. She lets it move through the river of the body. She knows that tears can be like holy water. She knows that sweat can be prayer. She knows that swimming can become a ceremony. And she knows that a hand on the heart can be a doorway back home. So the plant medicine of sweetgrass is one of the herbs we like to burn. We burn it in the lodge, we burn it in sacred ceremony, and it's so sweet and tender. My teacher, Catherine, always used sweetgrass to help us remember that sweetness of life. So yes, you can add that to your altar as well. Sweetness blends and weaves together the body, the mind, and spirit. It reminds us that growth is not all about effort. It's about the sweetness. So can you allow the sweetness into this season? Can your spiritual practice include beauty? Can your healing include pleasure? Discipline include tenderness? So often we make growth heavy. We turn every practice into another task. We turn healing into another way to judge ourselves. But Summer says, let it be sweet. Let the prayer be sweet. Let the breath be sweet. Let the body remember what sweetness is all about. So now let us take a moment and bring all of this together for a channeled meditation where we walk the medicine wheel and honor your path, your prayers, and your blessings. So wherever you are, if you can, close your eyes for a moment. Taking a nice deep inhale, breathing up the body. And exhale, breathing all the way down as I go to light the fires of transformation. Inhale, expanding the breath up the body. And as you exhale, bringing it all the way down, slowing down. Inhale, expanding the breath up the body. And as you exhale, drop right into the heart, right into the deepest part of your heart. Feel that connection, your spirit and the greater spirit. Know that you are loved, guided, protected. Feeling all this energy coming in around us as we take the time to call in our Reiki master teachers, calling in those that have come before us, calling in the angels to open our hearts with joy and love, calling in the crystal beings for amusement and magnification. And now calling in your higher self to help receive the messages for your path, your light. Taking another deep inhale and exhale as we close the eyes and imagine, pretend, visualize yourself walking from the direction of the east. Right here at that crossway, we are entering into this new season. The great medicine wheel is all around us, reminding us of all the many facets of our life. This circle is never ending, showing us that growth for where we are right now. Feel yourself standing in this direction of the south, with the sun streaming down upon you, earth underneath your feet, taking a moment and noticing the energy coming forward for you. Right in that deepest part of your heart, ask yourself, what is my desire to grow even more? And now listen for that answer. As we call in this energy to help you understand more and more about your path, your light, feel this desire pulling you as a great light of illumination. Feel the heart opening for you, your path, your light. As you step into this new direction, imagine it to be the new room of your light, filled with light. And now see and imagine and pretend, visualize, notice the colors. Notice what is growing all around you. As Lumarian teach me, feel your feet on the earth and pull up from the earth that wisdom that has been buried there for you. Noticing each step you take, going deeper and deeper to the center of you, the center of the medicine wheel where the power resides. Each step. Allow yourself to be guided, noticing any obstacles that may come along the way. Take a breath. Notice. As I go to draw a card, the daughter of water comes in. How perfect for right now. For she is the one that reminds us to be free, to open up all the emotions, to open up the heart. She still shows us those boundaries all around. So we keep our energy boundaries, but we open up to an innocence, to playing, to having fun. That wild woman is that inner child within you. How can you guide her during this season? The next card that comes in is the World. It was reversed, so when we turn it around, we want to recognize, where are you not trusting that you are totally guided by the sun and the moon and the universe? Where are you afraid to be vulnerable? We want to turn this card around so that we can open up, have that trust, have that support, bear our energy, be vulnerable, bring it forward, for you have earned that right through the lessons your heart has been guiding you. Take another deep breath. Feel the energy coming in for you. Moving forward with that wild woman, young inner child energy, allowing yourself to know and trust you are supported. To the 8 of fire. Fire is allowing yourself to be ready, for that portal will open as you trust. That is that manifestation portal. So align your energy in this direction. Step by step, feel yourself aligning, centering, grounding, ready for when that portal opens. You do not want to miss your opportunities. It doesn't mean hurry. It doesn't mean be anxious. It just means be there. In that energy of pausing to align the energy so that that growth will come forward for you. So we have that innocence of the young child, that wild woman energy within you, opening up with the heart, trusting you are supported, you are being vulnerable, and it is okay, so that you can align your energy to be ready for that portal to open that you are manifesting. Take another deep inhale. Feel this energy coming around as you feel yourself walking towards the center of this great medicine wheel. And right here at the very center, right here from the heart, bringing in this absolute light, streams of grace, Reiki energy from your heart, aligning your guides, your higher self, your heart, Mother Earth, with the desire of your path right now. And now opening from the heart, sending this all around up to Creator, your blessings, your prayers. I am living my dreams with joy, with wildness, with freedom, and the courage to step forward. Sealing it in, Shokure, Shokure, Shokure. Hanshin Se Shonin, Hanshin Se Shonin, Hanshin Se Shonin. Sending it out for this season all around you. Take another moment and see yourself moving around the entire medicine wheel back to the center, releasing the energy all around you, opening up your aura, and landing right back in your heart. Taking another deep inhale and exhale as we begin to bring these messages, these desires, this passion, this light all the way down, thanking our guides, thanking our messages that have come in, beginning to ground your energy, inhaling and exhaling, starting to bring the awareness back, opening the eyes. So as we prepare for the summer solstice, I invite you to keep this practice simple. Go outside, feel the sun, touch the earth, put your feet in the water, wear red, light a candle, offer gratitude. Make your support list with your guides, your teachers, and name what is growing. Let your emotions flow. Let your soul soar. Let sweetness return. And most of all, allow yourself to enjoy the life that you are creating. Summer's not asking us to become someone else. It's asking you to become more fully alive as yourself. Taking another deep inhale and exhale. Notice how you feel that passion, desire coming in. The wild woman is here. Thank you so much for listening. Reach out. I am your host, Terry Ann Hyman, to your spirit. Namaste.